What a joy that you have found us for this podcast. How exciting it is to think that this spiritual message is going out to people around this planet. Whether your life is working at a peak level or whether it can use some enhancement, have I got the message for you today. So get a piece of paper, get ready to take notes, call a friend, have them watch this podcast also. Then you too can have something to talk about and take it to a deeper level. So enjoy. Here we go.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Seaside Center for Spiritual Living. We're thrilled to have you here with us today, and you are in for a very special treat. Today, our Sunday celebration is being presented by the youth. Please join me as we welcome our youth, our spiritual leader, Dr. Christian Sorensen, and the Director of Youth and Family Ministries, Laura Swan.
Take these broken wings and learn to fly all your life. You're only waiting for this moment to arise. Blackbirds singing in the dead of night. Take these sunken eyes and learn to see all your life. You're only waiting for this moment to arrive.
That is Amanda Walker and Evan Penza. Good morning, Seaside. Well, what a joy it is to be here with you today in a very more relaxed kind of way for myself. Not all tension with that energy of a talk that's about to come forth, but the ability to just receive the gifts that are about to present themselves. And I'm always touched on our youth service. This is our third year in a row that we have done this. And my big breakthrough into the ministry was when I was 14, where I debuted with doing one of these youth talks. And I was hooked ever since then. So it holds a very special place in my heart. Our youth director is a beautiful expression, a beautiful soul. I want you to know she is a catalyst for the success of our youth program. She is the envy of the ministers and churches of religious science because we've got something good going on here, and it's a result of the consciousness of this woman, Laura Swan.
Wow, well, thank you. Thank you, Christian. Like Christian said, I am the Director of Youth and Ministry here, and I am so honored to represent these teens today, to welcome all of you to this service. They've put together something very special, and I know you're going to enjoy it. So I'd like to introduce to you now Jerry Araus, who is their leader. Jerry has been working with the teens for a few years now, and I've never seen really anything quite like Jerry with youth. He is absolutely passionate about them. He cares for their well-being and their happiness so much and puts way more in than just Sunday service every week. He's with them for hours each week. So, Jerry, I thank you with all my heart. I'd like to welcome him and welcome our teens, and please enjoy the service. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was really sweet. But now who I would like to introduce is Rue. Rue is one of our wonderful teens. He actually did do a talk here a few years ago as a preteen. So it was really wonderful for me to actually see him grow up and actually be in our group. He's definitely one of the kids that I've gotten to know a lot better in this past year, and I'm really happy that I had the time to do that. So here's Rue.
Hello, and welcome to Seaside Center for Spiritual Living. Our vision here at Seaside is to be a spiritual nexus, inspiring people to live their dreams. And our purpose is to celebrate our divinity, love humanity, and serve our community. Now I invite you to stand and greet your neighbors.
Hello, my name is Ryan Mattman, and while we were at our global peace camp, we heard a story of the Great Peace. It comes from Iroquois legend, and I would like to share with you a piece of that story, or a summary of the story. This story was already an ancient one when first settlers came from Europe, and the native people shared their knowledge of the good mind with the newcomers. The new people came to live under the great tree of peace, but they did not know its history. They did not know of the weapons buried in the earth or of the white roots of peace that needed to be watered and nourished to help the tree grow. In the bountiful life we have been given in America, we have not always remembered the law of the good mind. Sometimes we have reached out and taken an unfair share of the fruits of the tree. Sometimes we have enjoyed our place in the shade, but have not wanted to welcome others still suffering in the heat. Sometimes we have fouled the earth around the tree. We have spoiled the air and contaminated the water. In ignorance, we have even hacked at the roots of the great tree, but the tree has survived. The great pine tree of peace is now more than half a millennium old. Some of the centuries have been harsh ones, but the tree has weathered the struggles between natives and settlers, an evil era of slavery, a bloody civil war, and heavy losses in foreign wars. Despite the hardships and cruelties of American history, the roots of the great tree have continued to grow, and new nations have found shelter under its branches. The tree offered sanctuary to people of all cultures looking for a better life in a new world, to people fleeing from war, tyranny, poverty, possession, famine, persecution, and genocide. The newcomers often had no water to give the white roots, other than their own sweat, tears, and sometimes even blood. When they came without nourishment for the tree lived on their dreams and hopes, and it continued to grow. We are the inheritors of a great American legacy. We are the children of Daganawea. We are the children of Africa, Asia, Europe, the South Pacific, and all of the Americas, who have come to live under the peace of the great tree. We are the people who must uphold the good mind, that our children may inherit this legacy of righteousness, health, and spiritual power. We are the people who now must nurture the great tree and water its white roots of peace. All of us are new seedlings sprung from this tree, in a world that is quickly moving toward a planetary civilization composed of many different cultures. It is essential that we send the white roots of peace all over the world. Perhaps it is for this reason that the Great Spirit has helped encourage the rise of this story again from the soil of America. This tale is a great-rooted blossomer, rapidly growing and greening, reaching across time and space to give us guidance, protection, and peace. Thank you.
And with these thoughts of peace, I invite you to focus. Focus on the light shining, the beauty of the plants around us, the energy of the people next to you. And now close your eyes. Focus on the beauty within you, the peace, the calm, God. For God is in each of us. We are all combined, one with the universe, one with spirit. And looking around this room, I know that each of us is at peace with themselves, at peace with others, making themselves a peacemaker and spreading this peace to each person they come in contact with today and forevermore. And knowing that we send this message of peace and love. And so I claim today to be great and wonderful, and as we move on through our lives, knowing that all is good. And I say thank you for this, and I release my words to the law, and so it is.
All the people that will be speaking here today, they actually wrote this down themselves. So it's very exciting to me because I get to see their wisdom. That's one of the things that I love so much about helping with the teens, is that I'm learning just as much from the classes that I take every week here at Seaside, but I'm definitely learning a lot more just from the teens themselves. They have such an inner wisdom. They just have such ability to connect with God so easily and being able to just express themselves out there that sometimes I just sit and I just kind of just lean back and just try to close my eyes and just listen. Really, one of the most beautiful things that we have done here that Seaside has created is that it gives that path of them being able to express themselves to the fullest and being able to feel comfortable on knowing that we're not going to judge them for whatever things they believe or they want to do. The one thing that we're here to do is just to help them, to show them different ways that they can live their lives on the positive in a very productive way. So thank you so much for giving us this again. This young man is like a little brother to me. He's very passionate about everything that he does. He loves to play soccer. He helps out little kids to learn how to play. But one of the most wonderful things is that yesterday he actually turned 21. So happy birthday. So like I said last service, I am very proud that he's actually here today. So I'm very proud of you, Alex, and here's Alex to you guys.
Good morning, everyone. I'm here today to talk to you about being a peacemaker. And right now, I'd just like to invite you to close your eyes and just be comfortable in your seat. And think of a time when you're extremely happy or filled with joy. Think of what your passion is or something that's going to put a smile on your face. Now think of how you felt at that time. Are you smiling, laughing, or having fun? You can open your eyes. This is what peace looks like, and you probably didn't even notice that at the time. At that instant in your life, you weren't thinking about war, anger, hatred, or anything of that nature. All you cared about was keeping that feeling of joy, love, happiness, and peace, and being thankful for that wonderful memory that you have to cherish. This is what being a peacemaker is all about, being aware of your emotions and what it is you're feeling. While it's not always easy to do, the more you do notice, the easier it becomes to alter your consciousness and react in a more peaceful, loving way. For instance, in some of those bad days you guys might have every now and then where you're just snapping at everyone, just upset for no reason, you probably don't even notice that you're actually mad. An easy instance that I'm sure many of us probably encounter is traffic. Daily, stuck in it, driving wherever you go. Maybe you get cut off, someone's honking at you. You start feeling a little frustrated sometimes, and it's really easy to just get caught in that situation. And this is when I want you to go back to that time in your life that your passion is something that's going to make you smile, because right then and there, you're already changing your consciousness and your thoughts. One thing that among many things that Science of Mind teaches, one of them I feel is very important is it talks a lot about the power of your mind and the power of your thoughts, to always try and think of positive things because that is what you're going to manifest. Going back to that instance in your life, you notice how much easier it is to be peace and to make peace around you. Peace just comes out of you when you're doing something you love or when you're in that mindset of just smiling and having fun. I found a quote from Albert Einstein on peace. He said, "Peace cannot be kept by force. It can only be achieved by understanding." I truly believe this because, speaking from experience, you can react very poorly to something without having complete awareness and understanding of the situation, and things can go incredibly wrong. Also, relating to the force aspect of the quote, I'm sure many of you have siblings. I do. He's 10 years older than I am. So growing up, as Jerry mentioned, I was a very energetic and talkative child. I was always trying to be cool, hanging out with my older brother, and he was trying to be cool, not letting me hang out with him and his friends. So at home, wherever we'd go, I'd always be talking. He'll be telling me to be quiet, and I'm a little kid, and my older brother, I'm not gonna stop talking. And then he'd start to try and wrestle me and be like, "You need to be quiet." And then I just start screaming, and there's no peace in that, it's just a bunch of noise. And it's so true in so many different aspects of your life that you can't force peace on anybody, because they're just not going to give into it unless they understand and accept peace. I also found a quote from Mother Teresa. She was once asked why she didn't participate in anti-war demonstrations. She said, "I will never do that, but as soon as you have a pro-peace rally, I'll be there." Could she possibly have any higher understanding of peace than that, knowing that war is not the answer and that it only causes more trouble to fight it, but rather refer them to peace and joining that cause to create more peace. So my challenge to all of you is to embrace the thoughts that bring you joy or happiness, because it's so much easier to be peace, create peace, and spread peace when you are peace itself. To finish, I have a poem from Lao Tzu. If there is to be peace in the world, there must be peace in the nations. If there is to be peace in the nations, there must be peace in the cities. If there is to be peace in the cities, there must be peace between the neighbors. If there is to be peace between the neighbors, there must be peace in the home. If there is to be peace in the home, there must be peace in the heart. Thank you.
So now we have Sydney. Sydney's a senior in Carlsbad High School. She has so many activities she's a part of. She does scuba diving, she does theater, she sings, she goes to like all these different things that she does, and it's so amazing how much energy and time she has to be able to just be with other people and being able to share her wonderful energy. She talks about how she wants to be in the Peace Corps and how she wants to be very involved in the Global Heart vision. Here is Sydney.
Okay, I'm actually going to talk about a couple experiences that I've had because me standing up here talking to you about something I don't understand is going to be hard for me. So this is some personal things about peace with me. My entire life, I've considered myself a peacemaker. My goal is to maintain a peaceful and positive attitude in every aspect of my life and always stay connected to Spirit. But it isn't always easy, as I'm sure some of you know. A while back, I found myself slipping away from that consciousness and into a state of depression, which wasn't good. But usually when you're faced with negative problems, you have two choices. Well, I shouldn't say usually, always, you're faced with two choices. First, you can allow that negativity to completely take over you and absorb you, or you can think positive and find the good in every situation and keep on trucking. But unfortunately, like I said, I went straight for that negative place because it seemed easier and it seemed more comfortable, which is actually a really scary thought because if I let myself live in that place of negativity, then I can lose connection to Spirit, and I don't ever want to do that again. So for a while, I lived not only with depression, but with hidden depression. I wore a mask around my friends. I pretended to be happy, and I was really sad on the inside. At the same time in my life, my English class were studying literary movements. And so we were studying the difference between romanticism and transcendentalism. The two different kinds of heroes in each of the different movements. The common hero that transcendentalists believe in the common man is important, and romantics believe in the Prince Charming kind of hero. So we started really reading more realist books, and I got introduced to a book called The Sun Also Rises by Ernest Hemingway. And this book kind of changed my life because Ernest Hemingway did this really cool thing. He created a new hero called the Code Hero. And the Code Hero has a code of life rules that he lives by and he dedicates his life to. And these rules can be like experiencing every moment, traveling, living in the moment, staying connected to Spirit. It just doesn't matter. So for this assignment that my English teacher had us do was to write our own code. And this assignment changed my life because I was forced to write down how I'm living my life. And I started writing things down like, I live in the moment, I'm connected to Spirit. I threw in lines from Jamie Lula songs, from Ernest Holmes books, everything I could think of. And I was really confident. I'm like, I'm going to get an A, I'm going to ace this, yeah. But I started to proofread this thing. And I started realizing that I wasn't living my life this way when I was writing it. And I started to cry. And the tears didn't stop for a while, I just kept crying. But in that second, I rethought everything. And I chose to make that second decision of living in the positivity and finding the good. When I found that light and I changed my way of thinking, I became myself again. So essentially what I'm trying to say is you have a choice when you come to things. You can be peaceful or you can be unpeaceful to yourself. Just don't give it your peace, because how can you create peace if you're not living in it? I think that's why I love camp. Alex was talking before about finding your happy place, and camp's definitely my happy place, especially morning worship, which is like church in all senses. You get to sit down, you get to listen to other people and what they think about God. And it's a good place of rejuvenation and love and energy, and one of my favorite spots. The second day, I believe it was, a guy named Jay Lang from Mile High Church in Colorado came up, and he looked everyone in the eye and he asked them, "Are you the one?" And he goes on to give this inspirational message, but that little phrase stuck with me the entire day. And he left it open-ended because he wanted to see how you connected it with yourself. So I'm thinking about it the entire day, and the theme of the camp was Peacemaker. I'm thinking about it, how it connects to peace. And I know from Ernest Holmes' studies that being the one, you are connected to the one power, the one heart, the one spirit, and everybody's intertwined in that connection. So to me, world peace is when everyone finds that connection and stays strong. So world peace is a global heart movement. It's not about negotiating ends of wars, finding borders. It has nothing to do with oil or money or nuclear weapons. It's about finding and honoring the connection that unites in each and every one of us, connecting yourself to that peace and living through that energy. So I'm going to leave you with the words that inspired me and see what you do with them. Are you the one? Thank you.
We're cruising. Let me tell you, we're just like. The next speaker is actually my little brother. His name is Simon Arauz. Very good job, Laura. He's 17 years old. He's actually, I have a connection with him. It's really incredible when I look at other people. I think my connection with him is very unique. I think I'm very childlike, per se. Not childish, childlike. And he's very mature, so we kind of somehow, even though we're 11 years apart, he's a wonderful young man. He's been doing martial arts since he was 9 years old, and he's 17 now. He just received his black belt about a few months ago, so be careful. I'm just kidding. But he also has a lot of different gifts. He also does theater. He actually did a play. It's called Too Hot to Handle, and you have to go like this when you say it. Psst. You have to do that. I don't know why. That's what he told me. Maybe he was lying. But yes, he has a lot of gifts, and I'm really happy that he's actually stepping up to being a part of our teen group, because I think he sees the value that I see in it, where it's just a wonderful place to be and being able to express ourselves to the fullest. We have a lot of kids here that, not only Simon, but everybody else that is here, they're just doing so many wonderful things, not just on Seaside, but just outside in their schools. Like Amanda started the Invisible Children's in her school, her club there, which is doing a lot of wonderful and beautiful things. And I just want to say thank you so much for all the support that you guys give all the kids, to be able to let them come out of their shell and being able to say that they do have the power to change the world. They all know they can do it by themselves, but it's just such a wonderful place to come to, a place where you can actually find yourself with people trying to have the same goal as you do. So thank you so much all, and here's Simon.
Thank you, Jerry. Like my brother said, my name is Simon. First of all, I want to say thank you all for creating this space for all of us and for providing us with the wonderful leaders helping in our teen group. When I was asked to share about our camp experience about peace, I really wanted to share about the actions that a peacemaker would do. But as I was getting prepared, I realized through my camp experience what peace was really about to me. I'm going to share some of the revelations I had in my camp experience. My personal belief about peace is that peace is a normal and natural state of mind. It is a state of mutual harmony between people and nature. The Bible says on 1 Peter 3:8, "Finally, all of you live in harmony with one another. Be sympathetic, love as brothers, be compassionate and humble." No one has to change for me to have inner peace. We must have a full understanding that we are all connected, and if there is a conflict, it cannot survive without you. Just close your eyes and envision a sunrise and the way that everything just falls into place and how it all plays with one another in a soft and gentle way. When you try to force open a flower, the petals fall off. But when you let it open on its own, it's beautiful. But most important, have harmony within myself and be aware in my freedom of the mind from annoyance, distraction, anxiety, and obsession. Peace comes from within. Do not seek it without. The ways that I have found that work best for me are prayer, meditation, and always being aware of what my intentions are for the situation. I do not attach myself to things or outcomes. I know that I am a co-creator and that I always want the best for myself. If I have to fight for it and it seems as if nothing is going right, only I can make the decision if it's the right time for me. And the only way to do that is by centering myself through prayer, meditation, and the support of my family. By living this way, I can fully appreciate and experience inner peace. Like my brother always says, don't sweat the petty things and don't pet the sweaty things. It's him. For me, it is very important to be aware of my words. If I want peace, I need to express and attract it with my choice of vocabulary. Sometimes as a teenager, I feel that we are not heard, and sometimes we don't use the right words. But I know that better than 1,000 hollow words is one word that brings peace. I would really like to tell you how we can achieve world peace, and I will never stop looking. But I do know that it always will start with me, and my promise to you is that I would be a peacemaker by starting with myself, and then my family, friends, neighbors, and my teen group. And I know that we will make a difference. So I challenge you to do the same. Let's not worry about what has been done, but what needs to be done. So let's free ourselves from the cannots, and let's focus on the I can. I know that we will make a difference, for I know that we are all peacemakers, and we are all powerful and full expressions of God. And that the only limits that we have are the ones that we choose to believe in. So here's a poem that I think will help me in this new adventure, and I hope that it helps you. Freedom. Sing it, celebrate it, praise it, and clap to it. Pass it on to one another. Hold it and look inside. All the unwritten things it holds. Wonderful things. Light, hope, dreams, faith, and everything. See all the people. Open the window and fly away. Carry it off to others of this world. Sing, sing, and sing. Celebrate your life and freedom by doing something new every day. Freedom. Give the freedom to others. Pass it on to others in need. Don't leave them unspoken. Don't leave any of them wondering. Let them see the truth. Let them see the truth of the world. Release it from your mind. Allow those to take it and feel it. Remind them of their lives. Leave them hope. Freedom. Stare at the freedom around you. It is around us all. Feel it and understand the good. Release everything. Break from the iron chains and live. Freedom. Live, breathe, and reach for it. Reach for the freedom in all. Reach for the will and hearts of many. Help them. Give a hand to them and say, well done, you're free. For we are all God, and God is freedom. Thank you.
And at this point, I'd like to lead you in a healing prayer. It's going to be really good for me, too, because I'm sort of getting over a little sickness here. So it's perfect that it is my job today. So I invite you to close your eyes, become comfortable in your seat, and simply sink into that beautiful divine presence that is God. Take a deep, cleansing, and healing breath of that divine life that we share. Feel that oxygen flow through your body and give life to your limbs and to your brain. Rejoice in the fact that we share this life together. Rejoice in that beautiful presence that is you and that is me. Simply remember all the things that you've heard, that we've shared today in this wonderful teen service. I invite you to take those things to heart. There has been wisdom spoken today, and for that I'm grateful. for the expression that we have presented ourselves as. I'm grateful. For every sound, for every sight that I behold today, I'm grateful. For it is those little miracles, disguised as everyday occurrences, that make this life amazing. For these things and so much more, I express the deepest gratitude from the very core of my being. Knowing that these words are the truth of God spoken through me, I invite everyone to join me in saying, "And so it is."
So I'd like to invite the ushers to come forward as we do take our gift from our heart. Again, with a lot of heart and soul and passion. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am prosperous now. Hey, I trust you enjoyed that podcast. It was very exciting to be able to create that and to know that there are people like you all around the world that are observing and integrating these spiritual principles into their life. And so if you enjoyed it, what I'd like to do is encourage you to tell a friend or bring several friends together and watch another one of these podcasts. And then afterwards, take some time to talk about the spiritual principles, to talk about the stories and what significance they have and relevance they have in your life. What then happens is it moves to a deeper and deeper level in your world. It becomes real and assists you to create the freedom in your life that your heart and soul so desire. So if you like this, I encourage you to watch it again, but also tune into our website here at seasidecenter.org. There, you can get some of my written material and take a look at it. You can read some of my spiritual prayers. You can even go to our online bookstore and order some of the books. And if you're so moved, what I greatly would appreciate is your financial support, which you could do online at seasidecenter.org. It is support like yours that assists us to be able to continue to do these kinds of gifts for humanity and send it out to the world. Because you know what? We are making a difference with this spiritual message. And because of support like yours, people are being touched in the farthest reaches of this planet, as well as our backyard, more than we could ever begin to realize. So I thank you from the fullness of my heart for making a difference.